What would you do if, just seconds before saying, "I do," the love of your life discovered a secret so explosive, it could destroy everything? Stay with me, because this wedding isn't just about vows, flowers, and champagne, it's about betrayal, hidden identities, a past that refuses to stay buried, and a truth so shocking it will leave you questioning what love really means. If you love emotional romance stories packed with twists that hit like a storm in London and drama that burns like New York nightlife, make sure you subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Because stories like this, they don't just entertain you, they change you. The morning of the wedding began like a dream stitched from sunlight and white silk, the air heavy with roses and the quiet hum of anticipation, and Emily Harper stood before the mirror in her bridal suite overlooking Manhattan's skyline, her hands trembling not from excitement but from the weight of something buried deep inside her chest, something she had convinced herself would never resurface, because today she was marrying Daniel Carter, the man who had restored her faith in love after the worst year of her life, the man who had proposed under the snowfall in Central Park promising forever with eyes that held no doubt, and as the makeup artist adjusted her veil and her bridesmaids laughed nervously behind her, Emily's mind drifted backward to London 3 years earlier where everything had begun to unravel. Back then she had been engaged to someone else, a powerful investor named Richard Langford, whose charm dazzled crowds but whose temper flickered like a blade in private, and Emily had discovered too late that love mixed with control becomes a cage, and when she tried to leave him she uncovered something darker: illegal financial dealings, money laundering, and her own unwitting involvement as her name had been placed on shell companies she knew nothing about, and in her panic she ran, crossing the Atlantic to New York under her mother's maiden name, cutting ties, deleting history, promising herself that the past would dissolve like fog over the Thames. And then she met Daniel. Daniel Carter was not like Richard. He was steady, grounded, a high school literature teacher from Brooklyn who quoted Shakespeare when nervous and blushed when complimented, and he fell in love with Emily's quiet resilience, never asking too many questions about her life before America because he believed people deserved fresh starts, and when he proposed after 2 years of simple coffee dates and rainy subway rides, Emily said yes not because she felt safe, but because she wanted to believe she could be safe. But secrets have gravity. As guests began arriving at the glass-walled rooftop venue, Daniel adjusted his cufflinks in the groom's suite, unaware that across town a black car had pulled up outside the building, and stepping out of it was Richard Langford, colder, sharper, and smiling the way predators do when they finally corner their prey, and beside him walked a woman in a tailored navy suit carrying a slim envelope that held documents capable of collapsing Emily's new life like a house of cards. The ceremony began at sunset, golden light spilling across rows of seated guests, a string quartet playing softly, and when Emily stepped into view at the aisle's entrance, Daniel's eyes filled with tears because in that moment she looked like hope incarnate, and she walked toward him repeating silently that the past was dead, the past was dead, the past was dead, but halfway down the aisle she saw him, Richard, standing at the back, watching her, and the world tilted. Her breath faltered. Daniel noticed. The officiant began speaking about trust and truth, about two souls becoming one, and as vows were exchanged. Daniel promised transparency, promised that no shadow would ever live between them, and Emily felt the words strike her like judgment, because shadows were all she had hidden, and when the officiant asked if anyone objected to the union, silence held for 3 heartbeats before a calm voice cut through the air. "I object." Gasps rippled across the rooftop. Richard stepped forward slowly, as though savoring each footstep, and Emily's mother nearly collapsed into her seat recognizing him instantly from the nightmare they had escaped, and Daniel turned toward his bride in confusion, searching her face for explanation, but what he found was terror.